Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and we're going to have one last video on factoring when A is not 1, and then we're going to move on from factoring and try to cover a couple other topics before the final, which if you're watching this on Thursday, the May 7th, I think that is, 2 weeks away is the final, and we got some interruptions. There's a dance marathon day, there's a park testing day, and so there's a few interruptions there. But anyway, here we go. All right, remember from a previous video. All right, first of all, check for a GCF, number 1. I see a 2 goes into 2 and 12, but it doesn't go into 5. There is no GCF other than 1. It's a trinomial. It's not a perfect square trinomial because that's not a perfect square. Neither is that. Plus, that's negative. Right? Remember, A and C have to have the same sign to be the perfect square trinomial. Let's see here. A is not 1, so I'm going to list the factors of A and list the factors of C. Now my goal is going to be to multiply one of the factors of A with one of the factors of C and multiply their partners. And then since C is negative, I will subtract with the goal of getting a negative 5x. So let's take a look at this here. Let's take a look. Let's see, I got 12 and 2, no. 6 and 4. I wonder if I have a mistake. I'm not seeing one. Oh, I think I see it. How about 2 times 4, which is 8, and 1 times 3, which is 3. And what subtraction problem do I want? I want 3 minus 8, so I get negative 5. There we go. Here's how simply this factors. I'm going to have two quantities. I'm going to have a 1x and a 2x. Now, remember, the 1x, the outside one goes with the outside one over there. The inside one goes with the inside one. So what did I multiply the 1 by? By 3. So I need a 3 there. And over here, my little subtraction problem, the 3 is positive. What did I multiply the 2 by? By 4. And in my little subtraction problem, 2 times 4 is 8, but it's negative. There you go. You just factored this trinomial. It's actually pretty easy. It takes a little bit of practice. I know there's lots of different types of factoring, pardon me, but it's not difficult. All right, let's check number 2. GCF, don't see one. Perfect square trinomial, All right, going to list the factors of 2. Going to list the factors of 15. All right, now, since C is positive, I'm going to add. And I want to get negative 13 as my answer, which means when I add, they're both going to be negative, right? Okay, so how can I get a negative 15, or a 13 with addition? How about 2 times 5 is 10, and 1 times 3 is 3. Now I need a negative 3 and a negative 10. That would give me negative 13, right? And that's really an addition problem. Okay, so let's make two quantities. And we're going to get an x and a 2x. What did I multiply the 1 by? Well, by 3. Won't always be the case. That was just a coincidence. And the 2x by 5. Now the 3 was negative, and the 10 is negative, so the 5 will be negative when I multiply. Now if you notice, the plus in the back means the Wendy's double stack. C is positive means this sign shows up twice, and there it is. There's the double stack, or the sign showing up twice. All right, let's go on to number 3. Same type situation, only we're going to solve here. All right, no GCF. It's not a perfect square. We're going to list the factors of 6. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. List the factors of 3, 1 and 3. Now I'm going to subtract, because C is negative, to get positive 7. So how could I do this? How about 3 times 3, which is 9, and 2 times 1, which is 2, and then the subtraction problem would be 9 minus 7. All right, I'm ready to factor this bad boy. All right, let's go with a 2x and a 3x, just right from there and there. Now the 3 got multiplied by the 3, and the 9 was positive. The 2 got multiplied by the 1, that would be here. Oh, that should be 9 minus 2, excuse me. The 2 got multiplied by 1, and it's a negative. Now this equals 0, so I am not done with this problem. I factored it correctly, but I need to take each quantity, 2x plus 3 equals 0, and 3x minus 1 equals 0, and solve for x. So we get 2x equals negative 3. X is going to equal negative 3 over 2. 3x is going to equal 1. X is going to equal 1/3. So there are my two answers. By the way, I don't know if you realize this. The original problem is a quadratic, right? Which means it's a parabola. What you just found were the two places it crosses the x-axis. Yeah, that's what you're finding. Okay, we can also use the quadratic formula to do that, but that's what you're finding. Okay, let's take a look at number 4, and then we'll wrap up this video. All right, no GCF. I thought a 2 maybe, but then I got to the 5. Not a perfect square, not a perfect square. List the factors of A. 1 and 8, 2 and 4. List the factors of 5. 1 and 5. C is positive, so I'm going to add to get 22. Oh, that's an easy one. How about 4 times 5, which is 20, and 2 times 1, which is 2, and so the addition problem is 20 plus 2. All right, so let's put a 2x and a 4x. The 4 got multiplied by the 5. The 2 gets multiplied by the 1. Plus in the back, double stack, or C is positive, we need this sign twice, or 20 is positive. There's my 20 right there, and 2 is positive. There's my 2 right there. Equals 0. Not done with the problem, got to solve for x now. So we're going to go 2x plus 5 equals 0, and 4x plus 1 equals 0. X is going to equal negative 5 over 2. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, going too fast. 2x is going to equal negative 5. Therefore, x is going to equal negative 2.5. And then here we're going to get 4x equals negative 1. X will equal negative 1/4. Okay. So there we go. All right, that's the video for tonight. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.